sometimes from my Indian friends and my Chinese friends. It's come from first time. So far, I have never seen such a research. This is the first time this outcome can be achieved. The novelty is very high, never been before. It's my original research. It's too much exaggeration, make the reviewer doubt. Is it true? Why this happened? Then the reviewer looked to the correlated research. The correlated research paper old, no related much. So they judge this is lie, this is reject. This paper will be rejected. So you need to be careful when you say this is novel, this is the first time. So far, as much as I check, this result is not being researched before. But you see 2009, 2008 papers, they didn't recheck 2010, 11, 12. Search engine, very easy. I have powerful search engine, not like you. I can check everything. When I check, I see this lie. So these things, you need to be honest. I mean, especially in Asia, I know Asia, I'm part of it as well. And I'm proud of it as well. The method is also very important. Yeah. Thank you very much. So appreciate it. I know you were very busy. I'll try to finish because 11 o'clock is my time, but I wish to explain to you more things because these are the things which is we care in high impact factor journal. We look to it, editors and reviewers first look to it. And looking to these things, these are the points you need to care. So I just move faster. Duplication, be careful about it. Duplication is one of the points you reject the paper. We reject the paper. You duplicate the things. But duplication, it doesn't mean you do it on purpose. It's come because you are hot, you explain it, next 3 days, 4 days, you start to write again, and eventually, intuitively, you write things in a different way you wrote it 2 pages ago, 2 pages before. So this kind of duplication is very spot easily by reviewer, but for you, sometimes it's different. So these are duplications, very dangerous. Use illustration, tools to express your things, graphs, make it statistical analysis. It's better instead of this one, you try this one. You provide a tool, and this is your innovation. A tool, you use a lot of techniques. We have very good visualization techniques to represent your result. It's boring, it's hard time, but this is the opportunities, especially for a PhD students. Graphs is not good this way. You try to make it much better and much better. This is to make the reviewer understand your paper without spending much time, go there, and so on. And this is the best. So these things is very interesting. You care about it, and such that to have the reviewer, the editor, understand what is about. So I'm just moving fast. This is the same, I repeat again, avoid a grand statement. This novel treatment will massively reduce the prevalence of malaria in the third world. It's not like, I'm sorry, not political way. We are scientists, so we need very precise. This kind of a statement, reviewer will be clear about it. Is it true? Why? How? If there is no evidence in the methods, this statement make rejection. Because the author are exaggerating. And maybe they are exaggerating in their result. Maybe they provide fake data. Maybe comes up. It's better, the best, the safe way, reject it. Yeah, absolutely. This is the way we deal. I'm saying honestly to you. I mean, they are good paper, but in the writing there's something means that the author are not clear, not clean, not precise in their outcome. Means that their result may be not good. So these kind of things, to avoid them, we not check the paper, we don't have time, reject it, submit somewhere else. And this is the method. Maybe harash, but this is the way all journals do. Remember, all journals do. And the discussion, we have structure, we care about the instruction because we care about the discussion because we read it. So we have a structure, you see the red box represent the structure, represent the study. We need to have introduction. In the present study, somebody like this man, like this reference, did something, however, something, the ability of what something is, then I go to my work. So we are discussing something. We are discussing something, and this discussion should be highlighted in a very clean, clear way. So in conclusion of this part is avoid repetition and avoid being overly speculative. Don't speculate, don't think they're not based on science, because science is our basics. We stand on it and we present our results. The conclusion is the same way. In summary, this is in conclusion. Finding the present study, there is a need to do something, this is a need of your research, and you do it and take the upper level, So simple, not discussion. Discussion is discussion, conclusion is conclusion. Not 2-page, not 3-page, not 1-page. Very simple. And this is the whole issue, the acknowledgement. Don't put my friends, my stuff like that, but it's something which is more. Reference is very important, spell checking. Avoid personal communication, as I said in the beginning. Article published only in the local language. Don't say, sorry for my Chinese friend also, they put bracket in Chinese. Many papers they put cited, list up papers, and bracket in Chinese. Who will read that? Nobody will read this. So if you put it, I said either reject the paper or remove, if the paper is good quality, I ask the author, remove all these Chinese, look to the related one in English. Or if not, then your work is not based on basics. And but we know some of the authors, but if we don't know the author are good in this research field, usually I reject the paper if written in Chinese. Supplementary material, I say this again, many authors doesn't know what this. In the journal we have two kinds of submission. The online submission, when accepted, you have the online submission, and Science Direct or Book and Intelligence, people can download this paper, and you have the hard copy, the journal itself, which is distributed to many libraries, to many subscriptions, based on subscription. The Elsevier system doesn't ask money, but they ask subscription fee. So it's not expensive, and the subscription fee is based on countries. OECD is a high subscription fee, the developing world is lower. In India, it's too cheap, the subscription fee. So this is another issue. Supplementary material, when the author provides a source code or data to their result. In this case, these results were not published in the hard copy, but they are available online. So the people, when they download the paper, they can download all the these supplementary sequence data, method validations, sometimes about video data, and so on. And IIS, the editorial, Elsevier editorial system, will give you a window of how to download these things. I think you have an experience of using IIS, right? People who have no any experience in using IIS, please raise your hand. One. No, IIS is available even in Springer, even in Elsevier, in any journal, not in only in my journal. Yes. So IIS is editorial system. It's Elsevier editorial system. You log in, you create an author account, and then you access the journal submitting your manuscript, files of your manuscript. The text, there is a problem sometimes for the LaTeX text file, LaTeX file. LaTeX file, when you submit it to the source, the text file, the Elsevier, the editorial system, will move it to transform it. But transforming it, you need to have a knowledge. I receive sometimes paper not correctly converted, LaTeX, not correctly converted. So I receive the source code as it is. This is rejected, of course, but it's a waste of time. When you submit the paper, the system asks you to verify the submission. So you need to look to it, see the formula. Some people have no formula in their submissions. So this is after 1 week, 2 weeks, I check the paper. So 2 weeks is waste of time. You are waiting and waiting, and then 2 weeks, I see the paper, just returned back, rejected. There's no formula. So you need to confirm the paper is correctly converted before you approve the submission. Believe me, there are many people, we receive paper without formula, we receive paper only just a text. It means the author is not very keen to check it. So this is almost reject. And when we have reject, there's a flag on the author. When we have reject, 2 reject, 3 reject, we know that our author, they can submit another paper. But in that case, I can check the history of this author. So be careful on formatting. These are techniques we need to learn from submission system. But supplementary is available in Elsevier to help you submit another documents, helping to understand your paper. These are 333, we call it about clarity, conciseness, and correctness. And your enemy always, be careful about it, and you should take care about it, is repetition, redundancy, ambiguity, and exaggeration. Don't do that. Ask the people to read your paper, help. You don't do it on purpose, I know very well. But these are happen eventually, especially for a new author, a new publication from PhD students and young researcher. That's why we need to care about it. I will go to more. These are examples of exaggeration, things which is repeated, but I will go faster here and just go to one thing which is I want to say. This is language, of course I talk about the language, it's very important you care about. The layout, structure, a layout is, I can have the sense, my experience, I put the credit for the author, this is good paper, no technical, layout, the appearance of the paper. This appearance helped me to give credit to the paper. And these credits based on the hard working of the author, providing very lovely, good layout for a manuscript. And this manuscript, when you look to it, okay, send it to editor, send it to reviewer. Layout sometimes make people not read, make editor not read the paper. Be careful on this. And this is very important. The length is very important. We reject paper if it's long. No read. We don't read it. That's why we need supplementary. But supplementary is not counted. Index is not counted. This can be shifted to the supplementary. But the text of the paper itself is 30 pages, is long. And this is one of the reasons we reject paper based on their length. Reviewer not read paper for which is a novel. But some paper is long. There's a need for it, but these kind of like survey paper, reviewing papers. Abbreviation, I'll talk about it. Cover letter. Cover letter is a letter you put on for the editor, explaining you, showing me that this is the first submission, not submitted elsewhere. Nothing of it, part of it, is being published. And this is your original work. These things, we have it on the author instructions, written very clearly, but we put it in the cover letter to give a confidence that this author our original work. And cover letter is for editor, not for the reviewers. It's given me, but I don't read most of the time a cover letter. But I just see it when I see just to scan it. The author are keen to give explicit devotion to their work that's original. Revision is very important. Revision is very important, and some of the revision are rejected because they are not good. Paper life cycle is like this. You have a submission. I receive the submission, usually within 1 week. I check the paper. If it's okay, I move it to review. If not, reject it. Then, when I assign the reviewer, 45 days it takes for the reviewer to respond. Some of the reviewers are lazy. Some of the reviewers are reading the paper, they don't like it, and they put it on the shelf and they forgot it. So we have here in the system man reminders, is automatic reminders. IIS, very rich system, very powerful. So I program the system through my manager, my journal manager. So I ask him to do that, do that, do that, do this, and then he do it accordingly. So the system automatically sends reminders to the reviewer before 1 week before the due deadline. So the reviewer understands they should submit the review within 1 week. Then, when the 1 week is over, the system sends them a delay message. You are delayed. Submit the review as soon as possible. This is, I give it fuzzy way as 1 week. If I don't receive it, then I will ask the reviewer more strong language. As an order, submit the review. Some of the reviewer, I'm sorry, I forgot. When I submit strong language, they come back with apology, with long stories, big story. In this case, the only way to move the paper, I check it, or we have usually 3 reviewers for each paper. And I put more than 3 reviewers in case of some of them fail to submit. Then I take 2. If there is only 1, I read the paper. I can read the paper within 20 minutes. I have the power to do this, almost on the paper, and then I take conclusion on it. If papers stay more than 2 months, you should fight with the editor. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. I see some of you have questioned a few days ago that stayed 5 months, 6 months, 8 months. This is not in my journal. You see, my journal, we have the highest credits from the publisher. That is the most good response journal. And we have the highest downloading paper among many journals. And these are the evaluation. You can receive them from Science, from Group of Intelligence, from Group of Science. And this has been good. People go and submit their work. The review cycle, it takes a month for me. Usually 45 days, the system set. The system automatically allows 90 days to submit a revision. If you fail to submit a revision, the system withdraw the paper as reject automatically. So all these automation is helping us to move the paper smoothly and effectively. When the review is submitted, revised version of paper is submitted, within a month I will either check it personally. If the revision is minor, then I accept the paper, or if the revision is major and there's a conflict in decision among the reviewers, reject, minor revision, reject, accept, accept. These are kind of combination. I read the report and I take decision, accept the paper, I'll send it to revision again. This decision is very simple. When the decision reached, a letter comes from me to the author, and the paper will be available online, not approved, unapproved version. So allow many people in the science community can check the paper and look to it. In this case, we have a privilege to open the paper to the public because it's accepted paper, but not yet approved by the author. The author should approve the paper when it's accepted. We have a typesetting, galley proof, we call it the galley proofs, and these galley proofs are available to the author. So they have a copy of the typesetting manuscript. From the journal manager, they receive it to the author read and check it. This check is the last check you're allowed to do, not anymore. When you check it, be careful. When you check it and finish, the paper is available online as approved article. It means that it's available online as accepted manuscript for a knowledge-based system or any other knowledge journal in Elsevier. Some author asked later to change, and the journal manager asked me again if I allowed to change. And I spent time on this, I don't care, so I said no, change. So you should be very careful on this. Paper will be available online, they are not yet published. In this case, if the paper plagiarism detected or some problem, copyright problem happened, the paper will be not published, will be retracted. Retraction is very simple in this case, just the paper removed from the archive of knowledge-based system because it has a copyright problem, plagiarism. But in published work, it's very complicated. If the paper is published, it's very complicated. You will have very big problem. Be careful on this. It's very dangerous. We have many problems. People lose their future, lose their PhD, lose their work. And very easy to find out. Very easy to find out. I have many examples of this, but be careful, don't do this. These things, which is going to be another slide, which is we call it plagiarism, ethical behavior. Multiple submission, don't do it. We can find it easily. We have a very good network of editors-in-chief. Reviewers is very strong. I have 20,000 reviewers. All of them is the top scientists. Very well scientists and very famous people. And when I allow them to be reviewer, means we evaluate reviewers. We give them a certificate. Thank you very much for a good qualification in reviewing article knowledge-based system. This certificate is evaluated by Europe as a promotion. I don't know about Malaysia, but these are promotions for reviewers when they evaluate in high impact factor journal only. And multiple submission. One time I have an oath on paper reviewed by reviewer, and the reviewer said, hey, I reviewed this paper in another journal. Then I talked with we need an evidence. I spoke with the other editor-in-chief, and he said, yes, true. I told him I reject. He said, me too, I reject. But we put these people in blacklist. So be careful. It's very easy to put author in blacklist. Any submission, we know. That's why we said to my Chinese friends, they change sometimes the email account. So plagiarism, again, is very dangerous, especially for young students who are impatient. My scholar is finished, I need to publish a work, publish it and run to my country, so nobody knows. These things is not very good. Fabrication. Fabrication, don't do it, is dangerous. I know what is fabrication, and we can discover this. We built a data, and this data based on some sort of fabricated result. And fabrication, I can check it very easily. So a reviewer also can check it very easily. So try to not use it. It's dangerous. Well, research is back to very ethical issue. For example, medical application, animal testing. When we use a result related to human identity, we need to be very careful of this. So you need to be very careful of this. In Japanese law, this is very dangerous. In Europe, also very dangerous. So you need to have a consensus about data you publish, about people, human, animals, and the medical data, especially medical data. So these are, be careful. This is all I have, and in conclusion, I just say to be accepted, these are the list to be accepted. So you can see it on your left and the right. Accepted means these items, if you read them, you can have your paper can be accepted in the knowledge-based system. Well, at the end of my talk, I do appreciate the Pension Institute I'm giving today. It was a very nice opportunity to have me here with a good scientist. Dr. Mustafa is here, Dr. Norma, and other colleagues which I met here. I enjoyed it very much, and also I enjoyed seeing the students very active like this. And I hope that you can have the journal as your destination to submit your article, your research. And I think Malaysia also is a growing country, and I'm sure through your potential, the country can be more progressing in research and development. Thank you very much again for the student, for the professor, again for having me in such a lovely lecture. Thank you for attending. So if you have a question or comments or problems, we can hold a debate on it. I don't mind.
Yeah, we now open the floors for question and answer session.
Thanks, Professor. Thank you. Thanks for your excellent talk. I really enjoyed it. I have a note and one question as a reviewer. Actually, I have used several systems for IIS, ACS. I really found IIS very user-friendly. And I suggest you
Well, the question is, when I take a decision as an editor on a paper, and the reviewer already have some recommendations, the collective decision I take on is accept. Usually there is a button. When I say accept, the letter dispatched to the author, and then there is another window come, and this window saying send letter to all reviewer. And the letter go to the reviewer saying then the paper is accepted. There is two buttons. Either I allow to send the letters, or no, don't send letters to reviewer. Maybe this gentleman, the editor, didn't want to let him know that the paper is accepted. in this situation he couldn't receive the decision letter, the paper is accepted or not. So editor have the decision, announce the result to the reviewer or not. This is the editor decision. This is my answer. I can't explain. This is the editor decision. Editor have all the power to make decisions on such a case. Allow the reviewer to know or not. This is the editor decision. The power of the editor decision. There is no policy on this. The system allows all the flexibility to editors. So if the reviewer keen to know the result of the paper accepted, because the reviewer can log to the system and understand the paper is accepted, the flag is accepted, is there, but they don't know the paper is accepted. But the reviewer then send a letter to the editor why the paper is accepted and how the paper is accepted, when the paper is accepted. These are the reviewer can also send a message. So this is the situation. Is there any question?
We allow 2 more questions from the floor.
This is a reviewer question. I want all the questions. All the questions. If you have an experience, if you have a problem in your paper submission, if you have anything, you can say it to me because I can learn from this as well. Yes, please.
Multiple
Submissions.
Let's say I look at the paper, you go through a review process, you don't like the revision you have been recommended by the reviewer, so you can decline revision. Can you then go and select with minor modifications?
Okay, thank you. Double submission means the paper is not yet concluded. The paper is still in the reviewing circle and you submit another paper correlated to it, partially also, is not accepted. Even. But if you withdraw the paper is not anymore in the archive. It's your paper, don't care. If it's rejected, it's the same, it's your paper. If the paper is still living in the cycle of reviewing, it is not your decision to take part of it and publish somewhere else. This is illegal, it's fraud, it's parallelism. So you need to announce this. Either you withdraw the paper and you said, I want to submit it again with a new result, or do something else. Many situations like this happen. The paper is still in the reviewing cycle and they submitted it somewhere else again. And they modify some part of it. And this is very dangerous. We can find it, then these 2 papers will be rejected. Okay. Decline? Revision. If the revision is being submitted to the journal, it takes about 1 month to check it. Decline means you. Very simple. If you don't want to do the revision, there is in the IIS system a small button. I don't want to do revision. So the message comes to me, the author declined to revise the paper. Very simple. And these are all in the IIS system, automatic things.
Last question.
Hi. Of course, the ultimate aim of our work is to submit to a high impact factor journal. However, maybe some of our work has not reached to that point yet, and would like to submit to the journals that you put at others. How do you detect a fake journal?
fake data.
Fake journals. Fake.
journals.
So that we avoid submitting to those kind of journals.
So you mean fake journal mean you have a paper and you cite the paper which is fake?
Well, because I'm not sure whether the journals are fake or not, but because in some of the websites, they put all the IIN numbers, they put all the impact factor. When you check it in the GCR or Thomson Reuters, it's not there.
You can't do that. You can't do faking because all this is done by Web of Science.
Or maybe it's non-indexed, but it says it's impact factor, but it's not listed.
It's not listed, then you don't trust that. You just threw it away.
Okay. So we basically need to check at the database of...
No, things, impact factor, these citation things is clear. If you go to Scopus, you go to Web of Science, you can see these very easily. But if you go to the journal, sometimes they don't do it. Don't read that journal. Forget it. Why you care about it?
Because I've encountered...
There are many journals.
Yeah,
just
sure,
look
sure.
to the journal which is have a confidence in it.
Yeah.
There are many journals, they are fake, it's true. But if you have a doubt of 1% fake,
Right.
read it, forget it.
Sure.
1% is too much.
Thank you.
It's a very good question and very important because a lot of fake journal and people say cited and it's they say it's to be registered in Scopus. Many journals. It is to be registered in Thomson Reuters. It is in the process of registration in Scopus. These things you should don't read from our side because there are a lot of journal people publish just for small fraction of money. They pay, which is called $100, $200, just to make the paper in the direct access. And they will be cited. So you have a hope that it's accepted, then it will be cited, but will you wait 2-3 years, nothing. So these are things, if you have small doubt, forget it. You have a good library at the university, look to the good journals. There are many good journals. Don't look to the fake and think about it. There is no time to think about it. Okay.
One more last question, very last question, if you're dying to ask.
Excuse me. My question, first one is about the self-citation. Once you are writing to a certain journal, the journal that you are writing to, usually we cite from the certain journal that we are writing to. Let's say you are writing to journal of, let's say the Earth Geology, you do something. You have to put self-citation of that journal or not?